Welcome to the Psychedelic Integration Podcast. I'm Sinclair Fleetwood, a ceremonialist, plant medicine guide, and psychedelic integration coach, and I help soul seekers create lasting transformation so you can get unstuck, embody your power, and be authentic AF, all with plant medicine as your guide. If you're ready to go beyond visuals and get a vision for your life, if you know the end of your ceremony is just the beginning of your expansion, then this show is for you. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome. Hello, family. Welcome to the show. I'm Sinclair. Thanks for being here. This week's episode is all about giving yourself unconditional permission. And I would like to invite you to give yourself unconditional permission to get the support that you need on this path so you are not out in the world trying to be your favorite, most awesome, most beautiful, most badass, most healed, spiritual warrior self by yourself. This is not a path that is fun to walk alone. And we live in such an amazing time. You can learn anything on the internet. You can go and you can find anything out. You can do research. You can watch a million videos on YouTube. This is amazing. This is great. Thank you, internet. We are so grateful for the internet. And it's not the same. It's not the same as being seen in your fullness inside of a container where people are there to support you and witness you and birth doula your healing with you. And that's what we do inside of integrative containers. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's ecstatic and it's joyful and it's beautiful, and you can go at your own pace. There's no way to do it wrong. If you're tired of being out in the world alone on this path, nobody sees you, nobody gets you, and maybe they don't understand you, and you're seeking and you're looking, there is a community of people that are waiting for you, and you can join us inside of Nest. Nest is my group integration program. We meet every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We have a Telegram group. There is so much connection, so much community, and it's really small. It's intimate. There's 8 people in the Nest. It's nest size, you know. Somebody did a call with me a couple weeks ago and they're like, well, I'm not sure about joining a huge group. I don't want to be in a group with 100 people. And I was like, there's 8 people in there. And I was laughing. I was like, thanks for flattering me that there's 100 people in the nest, but that would be more like a stadium size nest. And this is a bird size nest. So if you're looking for an intimate, fun, real container of people where you can start meeting some other people who are on this path, who are doing the work of, what are these plants teaching me? What is spirituality teaching me? How do I learn the language of spirituality? How do I keep this connection to source that I am so desperate to keep because it's there? I feel it when I'm with the medicine, and then I go back into my regular life and I don't feel it. That is the reason to hire a coach. I can teach you how, I can show you how. So I have the group. I do one-on-one coaching. My website, sinclairfleetwood.com/nest. If you want to look into the group, click on work with me. You can learn about all the different ways to work with me. We also are in retreat season. It's retreat season. It's the best season. It's the time where we gather together around the sacred fire and we pray and we sing and we enjoy and we heal together. We release, we call in. We do all of the rituals and the shamanic healing and the ceremony, and we do it out in nature in these beautiful Appalachian mountains. I got to tell you, it feels so good to see Asheville in bloom after the year that we had last year. And it's such a blessing to be able to do this work here. So if you're looking for a place to come and expand, to get away, to step outside of your comfort zone for 4 days with us, and do a grounded, real, holistic, authentic experience that feels really good. We have an entire day of integration. Please get in touch. You can go to my website, sinclairfleetwood.com, click on events, book a call with me, and we can check out if it's good fit. Yeah? Sounds good. I started thinking about this. Why do we think we need permission for existing? Why do we think we have to ask, and who are we asking? Permission is an illusion created by separation. Separation between us and nature, separation between us and God or spirit, separation between us and each other, separation from our parents, separation from things that we need to be happy and healthy and well, separation from our true selves. So permission is kind of walking hand in hand with separation, because when there's separation, it's like duality, right? It's like when you separate into parts, then there begins to be this better or worse. So we think we need permission to belong, to receive love, to be approved of, to be validated as worthy of being alive and existing and taking up space and speaking and sharing and expressing and living. And we think we need it because we forgot that we are nature. We are indigenous to this earth. Everyone is. And we are expressions of the divine. We are the same as the river. We're the same as the trees. We are organic beings who were grown here, who were born here. We humans have this tangled web of stories that we tell ourselves of this self-conscious nature that we have, where we turn in and we look at ourselves and we say, like, I'm not enough, I'm too much, I am not worthy, I'm not enough, and I'm too much at the same time. How many people have that? Raise your hand. Me, I have it. I'm not enough, also too much. But we spend our lifetime, multiple lifetimes, seeking external validation, seeking approval, love, and acceptance and belonging from places outside of ourselves. Our parents, romantic partners, friend groups, gurus, teachers, shamans, charismatic leaders, others that we deem higher or further on the path than us, the government, all governments, spiritual communities, religion, the God that we put outside of us, because the way that we're taught about God is out here as a, man in the sky, and there's no way for you to reach him. In fact, he hates you because you're a sinner. But even the plant medicine, we are looking for approval from these medicines of like, tell me what I'm doing wrong, show me what to do right. Like, we want to belong. This is the great tragedy of the human condition, is that we have forgotten that we already belong. We belong by default. We belong by the fact that we exist, right? Nature isn't asking for permission. You don't walk around seeing flowers going like, is it okay if I bloom? Like, does anyone mind? My colors might be too bright. My scent might be too much. Like, maybe these other bugs won't like it. The trees are not asking permission to grow their leaves or drop their branches on the ground. They do whatever they want, The ocean is not asking, like, the waves are not coming in and be like, do you mind if I crash here? It just is. And it's funny when we take it outside of us and put it in nature and we're like, why are we like these neurotic, crazy people that think that we need permission to exist? Obviously, we're part of nature. We're natural human beings. Why do we need this? Why is it like this? So I started asking myself this, and I started having these great conversations with my partner, Ian. I like to say that he's a very sexy nerd and he knows a lot about like esoteric stuff and hermeticism and stoicism and all these things. And really where this comes from in us and in our current society and in our current systems that we're living in, our conditioning creates the need for permission, because the matrix, we can call it the matrix this episode, we'll call it the matrix. The matrix is built on hierarchies of control. So these are structures that teach us to outsource our sovereignty in exchange for safety, belonging, and survival. So when you come into this society, you are handed a bunch of agreements. And it's like, if you want to be in this world and you want to play this game, you have to ask, earn, or prove your right to exist fully. And so I was telling this to Ian, and some of it comes from the patriarchal way that our society was split, many hundreds of years ago, as different belief systems were coming into power, right? And so he was saying that, like, he believes this comes from when science and spirit were split. So alchemy was science and spirit as one thing. Alchemy was like the practice of the mystical and the mechanical. It was physical, it was spiritual. It was art, it was science, it was experimentation, it was magic, all in one thing, right? This is the way of the mystery school. This is the way of the mystic. This is the way of the oracle. This is the old human knowledge, the deep, deep occult understanding of how things worked before. Right around like the 1600s, they decided that science and spirit were not the same thing. That science was going to be mechanical and physical and provable and rational and logical and masculine, very masculine. And spirit, or God, was going to take all of the unexplainable supernatural stuff and give it to the church. So you have science over here, and then you have spirit, which should be the feminine, the mystery, the void, the magic part of alchemy, got taken out and handed over to the church. And the church is not about the feminine, in case you didn't know. The church took that and stripped all of the earth magic, all of the paganism, all of the animism, all of the natural wisdom of the world out of the context and put it in a system of control. So now you have science over here, control, logic, reason. Here it is. And now spirit is also in a system of control, and we are told true power exists outside of you. It's in God, it's in leaders, it's in institutions. You need an intermediary. You cannot access this. And your natural state is unruly and unacceptable and sinful and dangerous. And those two things are the foundations of patriarchy. Distrust of the body, especially the feminine cycles, emotions, intuition, the moon, menstrual cycles, like anything feminine is completely not allowed. So as this began to happen, this is the time when they began to burn women at the stake and burn medicine people at the stake and kill anyone who did not believe in this system, right? So this patriarchal system created this outsourcing and this worship of external validation and titles and certifications and approval and like stamps of, okay, you completed all the tests. And now what it looks like is spiritual bypassing, like transcending your humanity and transcending out of your shadow and like scooping out all of the light out of you and like discarding the shadow. The shadow is the feminine. The shadow cannot be discarded. The shadow must be integrated. You cannot have masculine without feminine. And because it's like that now, this is why we have such an imbalance in our society, because the wounded masculine energy and the wounded feminine energy has risen. And we have, the healthy masculine and the healthy feminine. Those are the energies that are trying to come back. They're growing back up from the roots and helping us find our way back home into a more balanced expression of society, right? We start learning all of this separation and the systems of control and the agreements. We're handed these agreements when we're children. We're conditioned in childhood. We have to go to school, and in school, they teach us there's a right way to be. You behave, you pay attention, you get good grades, you sit still, you don't talk too much. You can have your little recess, but you come back and you're like a good model student. And good girls and good boys get good grades and get good attention and good love, and they're approved of, and the good kids get more education because they're following the system. The difficult ones, the ones that have ADHD, is what we tell them that they have. Oh, they have attention deficit disorder, which is just like hilarious to me. I'm like, oh, you mean they're a child? They're like a child that will not be tamed. They're a wild, unruly child that does not want to sit and listen to you teach them math at 10 o'clock in the morning when it's sunny outside. I'm shocked. But that's what happens. Like, kids come into school, they have unruly, wild, beautiful energy of a child. And they are often punished. They get in trouble at school. They can't learn the way that they're supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to. And then they feel like they are ultimately not okay. And a lot of kids are being medicated. Maybe you were medicated as a kid. Maybe this happened to you. Maybe they told you have ADHD and they started giving you Ritalin or stimulants or something when you're a child. And yeah, if you take stimulants and you have hyperactivity and you take stimulants, you can focus, because that's what stimulants do. They allow you to be hyperfixated. Like, the same thing happens to you if you like smoke crack. It's like actually. So we learn in these circumstances that your natural self is not acceptable. And so you change and you hide your true nature to fit in and conform. Because you want to be liked, you want to fit in. And it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because you have a natural, innate, DNA-coded directive to not get ostracized from the village. Because getting kicked out of the village means starvation and death to your lizard brain, We naturally want to belong because in our DNA, the DNA tells us if we don't belong, we can die. And it's true in a lot of ways. When we are ostracized socially, there's a much higher chance that we will have health problems later on in life. People who don't have good social connections, good friendships, good relationships, good partnerships are much more likely to have health issues in their lives because they don't have social connection and family and people around them who care about them and love them. And they also have health issues because they are repressing and subjugating the true self. They are wearing a mask. When we wear a mask, we are pushing the real self down, and that creates illness in the body. It creates symptoms, it creates pain, it creates an environment of unsafety, of activated nervous system, which causes all kinds of health issues that we think are biological. They're not. So this system of control comes in when we're young. Our minds get colonized by institutions, our parents, and everyone is just doing what they're told because that's what we know. We are living in a time where it is becoming more and more common to question this conditioning and to question the matrix and to question, is this real for me? And to start trusting your inner authority and to start listening to your body and to start understanding that you actually have intuition and inner knowing, and you can have a personal connection to spirit. You are not needing to outsource your power to a spiritual guru or a college degree or a job or a boss or anyone, a friend group, whoever, right? We are living in a permission economy now where there's all this gatekeeping, right? That means like only some people get to speak, only some people get to lead, only some people are allowed to be sacred. You have to prove yourself. There's all of this hustle culture in our society where we have to hustle for worthiness. Our American dream is based on hustle. It's based on false stories of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps by yourself, which is never how it happens. There's always a community involved. People don't do things all on their own. It's not like that. These rags to riches stories are because there was help. Like that is how it always is. Because so we have all these gates between us. We trust people with credentials. We believe like, okay, well, this person's done all the academic stuff. They've checked all the boxes. They have all the achievements. So I'm going to trust them over someone with a lived experience. The wisest people that I've ever met in my life do not have any accolades. They do not have a badge on them that says I'm the shaman. They are deeply spiritual medicine people who have walked with the wisdom of sitting in thousands of ceremonies and listening to elders and learning from elders and learning the old ways and listening to indigenous wisdom and opening to the sweet connection that you can have with the mystery and the universe yourself. Those are the people that I want to listen to. Those are the people that make sense to me. So it's no wonder that we think we need permission. And in some ways we do have to get permission. Women absolutely have to get permission to have. If you look at our healthcare system, we have to get permission from insurance companies. We have to get permission from strangers to look at our chart and decide, oh, insurance will cover this or not. If you are a female, in many states, it is illegal to have an abortion, or you could be, criminally punished for having a miscarriage. We don't actually, in the country of the United States, have autonomy over our own bodies. We don't have control over our own pleasure. We are really living inside of a society that is very oppressed. We are currently in the time of a great awakening, and that awakening is going to come in many different ways. It's coming in the form of this imbalanced system that is deeply imbalanced in the feminine and masculine energies. It is in the wounded masculine. It is violent. It is oppressive. It is greedy. It is scary. And it is eating itself. The people that are in charge, who are actively inside of governments, are not representative of whole, wise, intelligent, emotionally intelligent, loving, peaceful people. And People are waking up and looking at this system and feeling disgusted, feeling afraid, feeling shocked, starting to see that maybe they don't have the freedom that they thought they had. Freedom to consume and buy things is not freedom. It's not. Having money is not freedom. Money is not freedom. Money is only good if your energy is good to match it, behind it, right? Like, we think if I just had more money, or I just had more resources, or if I just had, if my body was more healthy or something, we focus on one thing and we think, that's the place. That's where I'm gonna figure it out, and then I'm gonna get the prize of being in the cool group, in the cool kids group, in the popular group, because I'm gonna have the looks, and I'm gonna have the money, and I'm gonna have the stuff, and I'm gonna have the job, and I'm gonna have the house and the car and everything. And a lot of people are waking up to see that that is a very empty pursuit. That is not why we are here. It's a trick. It's a joke. And it's painful, this awakening, because it requires that you take off the blinders. It requires that you step into the unknown, get out of your comfort zone, and it requires that you start with yourself. It requires that you look into yourself. And so we have to be the ones to give ourselves permission to look inside, to see what have we been shoving down, what mysterious feminine shadow trauma amalgam of unacceptableness have we stuffed so far inside of ourselves that we can't find it. And often the catalyst for this kind of exploration is illness, physical illness, disease, diagnosis, something. It might be something big and serious, or chronic condition, depression, anxiety, PTSD, things that have gone on and on and on, and you have tried everything. You have tried everything. And believe me, family, I know how that feels. I tried everything too. I have tried everything. I tried alcohol, I tried sex, I tried drugs, I tried doing the job, I tried being in the matrix, I'm going to go all the way in the matrix, so I'm going to get money, and I'm going to do all this stuff, and I'm going to get all the friends, and I'm going to drink myself silly every weekend, I'm going to party, I'm going to go do amazing shit, and I'm going to travel, and I'm going to do all the things, and I'm going to go to every doctor that exists, and I'm going to create all the pain in my body. That was when I started to wake up, was when the suffering became so deep and so profound that there was nowhere to run. There was nowhere to run. I was so disengaged and had abandoned myself. My separation from myself and from spirit was so deep that I wanted to die. And I had to give myself permission to live. And I think this journey of spirituality, this journey of wanting to come home to yourself and heal, it often starts with wanting to heal a symptom, a pain, a diagnosis. You want to get better. You want to feel better. You want to understand, like, why did this happen to me? You have a vague, like, I want to have a relationship with spirit, something out there, right? But what it turns into is a knowing, a deep knowing that this is all happening for a reason. This is all part of the divine plan, the divine joke. You being here is a gift. You being here is a gift. And every day that you get to spend here is a gift. And everything that you get to go through is a gift. And everything you get to learn is a gift. And you start to find a different why than what you started with, right? And I think really the reason that we wake up is because we want to be free. Because we're not free. We're in a cage of our own making. We're in a cage of our own making, and then we're in another cage of society's making. I mean, we just are in like a matrix of cages, basically. And even the spiritual awakening becomes performance under the system of control of the conditioning that we have. So you can start to do it. You can start to work with plant medicine, and you can be like, okay, here's this plant, and I'm going to take it, and it's going to fix me, and it's going to be fast because that's all I have the attention span for. We're expecting this like instant gratification with everything in life. I'm frankly like wildly allergic to this. It's actually starting to make me really angry. Like, I believe that we desperately need to slow down and really be honest with ourselves about how long we are willing to invest our own time into getting well and getting balanced and getting at peace, becoming peaceful in our hearts. I will spend the rest of my life doing this. That's how long I think it takes. That's what it's for. I'm here to find peace. Great. I think when you come to the spiritual path without unplugging from the matrix enough, you start to try to earn your awakening. And you're like, I need to do extreme shit. I need to do like 11 dots of combo, and I need to suffer and purify myself and, follow a strict path and be obedient. And like, I need to do this in a super hyper masculine way because that's the only way. And I understand why we think we need it like that, because our suffering is so intense and so deep and we're so disconnected. We have so much, and we have so much material and so much information and so much choice and so much illusion of peace and freedom and so little actual freedom that it feels incredibly dire. And we want to like, let me smoke some DMT, like let me blast me up, shoot me up to God. Like I need to figure this out and I do not have time. So I get it. Like I understand. And it puts it in the context of like, this is a fast food experience. And I implore you to give yourself permission to take it slow, whatever it is for you. I implore you to spend however much time you need on each step, because this did not get created overnight. This whole thing, the thing inside of you that is calling you to awaken, did not get created overnight. It's not going to get healed in one ceremony. It's not going to get healed in your basement one night. You might get some good insights. I hope you do. The thing about plant medicine is it can be so powerful. It is so powerful. You can have one ceremony that blows you open so much. And for some people, that's all they are going to need. That they will take that and walk with it the rest of their lives. And for other people, it won't be enough. It won't matter how intense the experience is. It won't matter how powerful the experience is. It won't matter how deep you go, how far you go. It won't matter if you talk to God or whatever. Because we do not have the ability to understand how to ground that experience into being alive on this planet in the messy, fucked up life that we have, because we are looking for something to take us out of it. We are using spirituality to raise out of our problems so they're not our problems anymore. It is important for us to take care of ourselves and to heal ourselves first. But if we're not doing it for the whole, for the earth, for all the people, for all the beings, it's not in right relationship, and it's not why we should be doing it. And this is what's hiding in the shadow, is like the me first. It's like the me first experience. And so how this ties into giving yourself permission, you have to give yourself permission to descend. You have to give yourself permission to be messy and ugly and imperfect, and stop repressing and stop repressing, stop shoving shit down, stop ignoring your body, stop ignoring your feelings. Give it all permission to exist. Give your rage a permission to exist. Let your rage come out into the light and make it sacred. Let this magic feeling inside of you of aliveness that comes with rage, the anger, the shadow, the darkness, the things inside of you that have felt unspeakable and inappropriate, unlovable, shameful, these parts of yourself that you've rejected, that were rejected by others, those are the parts that need permission. Because what's happening now, when we push all this stuff down into the shadow, which is what we have done collectively, so separating spirit from science, relying only on one side of the energy, has pushed the feminine down. It has pushed the mystery down. It has pushed it down, and it has started to fester. It has started to create this like circus level society where there's no beauty in human relationship, because everything is transactional Everything is extractive. Capitalism is taking. And it will take every last drop of water. It will take every last tree. It will take everything to turn it into money. And then for what? So this permission to come back into balance is a permission to stop self-rejecting. And I really believe that if we can do this in ourselves, we will start to see a change in society and humanity. And I believe that it's happening. I feel it happening because I see it happening in my community. I see it happening in people that I love. I see it happening in people that are sitting in ceremony with me. I see it happening in my town. I see this change coming. I feel it. So how did the plants support us on this journey? They dissolve the illusion. They take us back to what is true, that we are divine, that we don't need an intermediary to access our own divinity. We don't need a priest or a shaman. We can connect with the highest and best in ourselves. We can meditate, we can breathe, we can go out into nature. Nature is spirit. It's right here. We are it. We are part of it. And sometimes the medicine will kind of show you like how absurd it is that you think you need to ask nature for permission to be natural. Like you're like, hi, is it okay for me to be here? And Earth is like, what? The medicines take us back to a time of remembering the balance of how things are intended to be. That we live in cycles, seasons, that we are a part of nature, and nature is the place to look for how things move. And if we stay in alignment and in balance with nature in ourselves, the nature in ourselves, the cycles in ourselves, the energy in ourselves, if we take good care and nourish ourselves with good food, good friends, good family, good community, what we are consuming in a good way, because it's okay to consume. It's the way that we're doing it that is causing problems. It's when extraction is part of the system and taking things out of the natural cycle and creating trash and creating waste and not having it in a good balance. That is why we're in trouble, is because we're living in ways that are not regenerative. They're not sustainable, but they're definitely not regenerative. Sustainability is not a very good goal. Sustainability is like we can extract at the same rate that we're replenishing. So it's like zero sum, right? But regenerative is we're creating more value in nature. Like we're rebuilding the natural environment. And Earth is so resilient. It is amazing how beautiful and fast nature can come back and take her place back in the natural order of things. And we're the same. We're super resilient. Our bodies are really resilient. When you start putting things back in the right order and back in balance, your body knows what to do. Your illnesses will heal. They will. And if there is something that doesn't resolve all the way, perhaps it's because it's there for you to work with it and walk with the wisdom of it. Because everything that comes that's hard is not for us to judge, including the patriarchy, including the circus clowns that we have as leaders and like the farce that is the government and all this stuff. It's like, it's there for a reason, because consciousness is experiencing what is it like for it to be like this. It's like this on purpose. And when you start thinking about how you have a choice to decide what the reality is, you can look out at the news and you can watch what's going on in the world and you can be like, we're fucked and everything is terrible. It's only a matter of time before everything is just completely destroyed and I'm going to hide in my house and I'm not going to do anything. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, wow, what a time to be alive. I'm so grateful that I'm waking up. I get to be part of the awakening. I get to be a part of bridging the new way. We're like living in an amazing time where this spiritual awakening is happening and we get to be the ones that are awakening. We get to be the leaders. We get to say, I was here before. And then, in 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, we're like the elders and we're telling the kids and everything is different. And they're seeing it and they're like, wow, I can't believe you lived through that. Like that's what I think about is what legacy can we leave for the next 7 generations? What collaborations can we work on as human beings? How can we work together? Because nature is collaborative. It's hierarchical. It's not hierarchical. There's not systems of control. There's systems of balance. There's ways that nature brings things back into balance. And this is a planet of sacrifice. So we're all making sacrifices in this time to bring ourselves back into balance. And the only way that I know that this really works is to walk with it and to be embodied with it and not put it out here and not transcend out of your actual life and not look at, okay, the only way for me to be happy is to delete everything that I've known and start fresh and rise out of these problems and with like money and success and some fancy job. We take these medicines to become more embodied. And being embodied means really living in your life, really being present, really being honest, being open, and giving yourself full permission to express, to create, to take a chance, to love, to be whoever you really are without the masks, giving yourself permission to do the long-term work of peeling away all of this conditioning and all of these cages. Like, we literally have to do the work of breaking ourselves out of the cage. We have to do the work of tearing it apart piece by piece and scraping our way out. Like we're breaking out of a prison. It's intense, you know? And you have to give yourself permission to reclaim your sovereignty. You have to say, I know what's best for me. I know what's best for my body. I trust my body. I love my body. I am not asking anybody's fucking permission anymore. My energy is telling me something. My intuition is telling me something. I know how it is. I trust that. And I don't need to justify that to anyone. And that is really scary to do. It's scary to think like, okay, I'm going to make a decision in my business and some people might not like it. It feels scary to do that stuff. It feels hard to say what you really feel. It feels hard to say like, okay, well, here's an example. Last year I was doing single day events in Asheville and they were popular. You know, people were coming. It was great. We had a good time. It was nice. And this year I decided not to do any more of those because I do not want to do fast food spirit work. I believe deeply in the container that we've created inside of our retreats. And if you don't have 4 days to spend with me, then I don't want it. Like, I'm not doing it. It doesn't feel good to me. And so there are a lot of people that won't come now because of that. And that's okay. We have to be okay with not being liked. Giving yourself permission to be true and real and authentic means not being liked. Might mean losing friends. Might mean changing jobs. It might mean breaking up. It might mean letting go. It's incredibly challenging at times to be authentic. Authenticity is not for people who are not ready to get down and dirty with themselves. And when you hear yourself asking like, do I have permission? Like, what will people think? Who taught you that wasn't yours to claim? What systems are benefiting from you believing that you need approval? Those are good questions to ask yourself. We want to look to these indigenous cultures, the earth honoring wisdom of the Native Americans, the people that were here before, doing it in a good way. The wisdom of the council, of the circle of elders, the wise elders guide that are guiding you towards spirit. They're not controlling it. They're not telling you, okay, well, I'm the only one that can talk to spirit and you're not special and you're a sinner and actually you need to repent. And like, if you don't, using fear to control people to try to make them behave is like the oldest trick in the book. I mean, it's literally the oldest trick in the book. Everything is sacred. And when you start looking at the earth as sacred, yourself as sacred, water as sacred, these old ways start to come to life in you. And when you bring them back to life, they start to call on the other energies that are inside of you and wake you up. And there is nothing that is more scary to a system of control than a human who remembers their inherent power. So I invite you to look around your life and see where are the places that you are holding back and waiting for someone to invite you, to give you permission. See where you can honor your intelligence, your intuition, and your anger, your feelings, The dark things that want to rise in you are rising to be healed, to be recognized, to be acknowledged, and to be worked with and walked with. This is what we're here to do. We're here to do the difficult things so that we have the capacity to handle the beautiful things. The more shadow work that you do, the deeper your capacity for joy, expansion, abundance, all of the good things that you want in your life are possible when you are willing to go into your shadow, get your old versions of yourself, get your inner child, and bring them home and integrate them and bring them into yourself. You are the only one that can give you the permission to do that. So thanks for being here, family. Thanks for listening. I hope you are feeling empowered and maybe a little spicy after this episode. If you want to learn more, you want a Sherpa to walk you through the shadow, please get in touch. My website is sinclairfleetwood.com. I would love to work with you. Come to Resonance. We have a few spots left for July, and thanks for being here. See you next time.